In this lesson, we'll work on refining our footsteps some more. So we're going to work now on basically blocking out our footsteps some more when they step up for the anticipation. And we're going to have that right foot step up first since we have the left foot planting right here. So we're going to keep that right left pattern until we come to the point where this left foot is actually going to come back once it steps forward. But that'll be fine. So keeping that in mind, let's select the right knee and the right foot. And we don't want the foot coming up the same time the body's coming up. The body's going to lead first and then the foot immediately after. And then also the foot should implant the same time the body comes forward. This is in this case the foot's going to plant and then the body comes up. So keeping that in mind, let's take this first key on frame 59 and let's move it up a couple of frames so it now lies on 61. Great, so now the body's coming up and then the foot's going to come up after. And then we'll take this key on frame 68 and move it down to frame 67. Great, so now that foot's going to plant and then the body comes forward. Great. So we have that right foot blocked out some more. Let's go ahead and go to the left foot. We'll select the left knee and the left foot. And what we want to do here is basically have the left foot plant a little bit after the right foot plants. So since we have the right foot planting on frame 67, let's have the left foot plant on about frame 69, or actually start coming forward on frame 69. So we'll go ahead and shift select these keys from frames 59 to 68 and move them up so that the first key now lies on 69. So here's what we get. Alright, great. And then we could also adjust this key so this foot's not coming up as slow as it is right now. If we hit play, we can see how slow it actually is coming up. Alright, so again, that's a bit too slow. These footsteps are going to be pretty quick. So let's take this key on frame 78 and move it down a couple of frames. So it now lies on frame 76. So when we go ahead and play this back, notice that's much better. Great, so we have the footstep coming up, boom, boom, and then the character pulls back, boom. Alright, so that's good timing. And with our feet blocked in a little bit more, we can now go ahead and work on the actual steps. So let's start with the right foot since that's coming up first. And we'll go into our perspective and graph view. And focusing on the translate Y, first we just want to make sure we have the key set for where the foot is about to rise and where it plants. So we're alright for where the foot is going to rise around this time. We have this key set at 0 there. Let's go ahead and set a key of 0 on frame 67. Okay, so now if we put a key in between where the foot was risen, we will have a key where it will plant. Great. And now we could also do the same thing for the raised toe. And we do need some keys here, so let's go to 61 and set a key there. And then also on 67. Great, and now we can start adding our in-betweens. So for that, we could go to about frame 63, and we'll raise up the raised toe here. Something like that. Okay, and we're gonna want that foot sweep as what we were working on before, and we're gonna get that with the raised heel. So let's go to about frame, let's see, we could go to about frame 65 and we'll key our raised heel there, also putting that in view. So there's our key for the raised heel. And let's see, we could have it come up on frame 67, so raise up the raised heel there on 67, and then have the foot plant on frame 68. Okay, and we'll just see how that looks if we hit play. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Let's even check it out again, hiding our curves. Okay, we'll hit play. Alright, so that's looking pretty good, and we're getting a nice feeling of weight there in the step for this pretty quick footstep here. So with the with this key now set, what we can do is work on animating the translate Y. So we'll go there, and on frame 63, let's lift up the foot just slightly. Remember, it's a real small step. We'll select this key on 63, hit F, and adjust the tangency on frame 67. So we'll break it and bring up the left half to get a nice feeling of weight in our step. Alright, so when we hit play, here's what we get. Great. Okay, so now that we have our right foot coming up, and it's looking pretty nice, we could check it out in a back view to make sure that's looking fine too. Alright, great. And now we can go ahead and begin working, or actually work on this left foot step coming up. So we'll do a similar procedure. We have a key there on the translate Y on 69, so let's go to frame 76 and also key the translate Y there. Then we'll go to the raised toe, and we do need keys for the raised toe, so we'll add those. Alright, so once we have them, let's go to about frame 71 and we'll raise up the raised toe here. Okay, and we'll scrub through to see if we like the movement we're getting. Okay. Then on about frame 74, we'll key our raised heel. By 76, we could raise up the heel some and then plant it on 77 to get a nice feeling of weight in this quick step. Great, so here's what we get when we hit play. Awesome. Then we can go ahead and animate the translate Y. So we'll go to our translate Y, and on frame 71, as that foot's coming up, let's go ahead and translate it up a little bit more. So it's just off the floor. We'll select this key on frame 71, hit F, and then we'll go to this key on frame 76, break the tangency, and bring up that left half again for weight. Great. So let's get a better view of our character here, just to see if our footsteps are looking pretty good before we can move on. So we could hide our curves and get a close-up view and render off a play blast. How about from this angle here? Here it is. Great. So those set of steps are looking really nice, our anticipation steps. And that wraps up this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to finish up the feet.